Hi everybody, Karis here. I'm sitting on the stage at the Mary Godfrey Playhouse where we've been rehearsing Xanadu, and I wanted to talk tonight, in tonight's little Why Xanadu section, about dreams. The first part that I talked about in Why Xanadu was about the music and how fantastic the music is. But another important reason, or a reason why the show is important to me, is it talks about dreams. There's a pretty profound scene. I know, profound, Xanadu, but there's a great scene here in the stage production where we see what happened with Danny McGuire, the Gene Kelly character from the movie, and his relationship with Kira back in the 40s. And it's an interesting thing, the characters of the muses, because a muse is there to inspire an artist, and a muse is not allowed to have a relationship with a human outside of just being a source of inspiration. So we see this happen on stage in a scene with Danny McGuire, with the character of Danny McGuire. We see when he was a young jazz artist, and he plays clarinet. He was part of the band, and he was part of the big band scene. He was writing songs. He was an artist. He was inspired, and Kira was his muse. She went by a different name back then, but she was his muse. And then there's a moment where he has all these plans, and they're going to open up a nightclub, and it's all this great stuff is going to happen. But then the logical and pragmatic part of his personality kind of kicks in, and he starts thinking about all the reasons why, well, the timing's not good right now, and it would be smarter if we handled it this way or did it later, and he kind of delays the process, and Kira's reaction to that, I think, is significant, because it's not an emotional, it's not a drawn out, there's no anger, there's no vindictiveness. It's just kind of like, well, you're not an artist anymore. She doesn't say these lines, but really the emotional impact is you're making a decision right now in this moment to not be an artist. And as a muse, Kira is only needed to be part of someone's life if they are a creative person, if they are an artist of some sort in some medium. And she just kind of, it's the end of their relationship because, well, Danny, if you're not going to be an artist anymore, then you don't need me, and there's no point of me being in your life. And that's pretty significant. And I think it's we're talking about dreams here, and I'm sitting here on a stage, and this is a place where we try to make, to an extent, we try to make dreams come true here. The original movie poster for Xanadu said as the byline there, a fantasy, a musical, a place where dreams come true. So dreams play pretty heavy into the story, and all of that along the lines of creativity and artistry and inspiration. And I think that resonates because, when we're young, it's easy for us to have dreams. It's easy for us to carry those dreams. It's easy for us to believe in those dreams. It's actually kind of hard for us to not imagine ourselves achieving those dreams just because our dedication, we have so much faith in our own ability. We have so much faith in our talent. The world hasn't knocked us around yet. The world hasn't kicked us down or put us in our place or whatever. And it's a funny thing about letting dreams go. And I say this as a man who's, I just turned 51 years old. And I know a few things at this stage in my life about letting some dreams go and letting some dreams die. And it's not always, it's the little decisions. It's not the big decisions. There's never a moment where you're like, oh, well, this is the moment where if I choose this path, I am letting go of this dream. It's never that profound. It's never that significant or that obvious. What it is, it's all about the little compromises, the little delays, the little, like what happens to Danny McGuire. The timing's not right. And so you push things off a little bit, or this other thing needs to take priority for now, or I'm at a stage in my life where I need to focus on these other things, or, it's the little compromises, bit by bit. And it's not to say that all those compromises aren't without their own benefits, or certainly not to say that there aren't reasons why we make compromises from time to time in our life. But it's only in retrospect where we can look back at those things and realize, oh, you know what? These were the decisions that I may not have understood the consequence of at the time, but this is how that dream left my life. This is how that dream faded. This is how I let those things go. I think that these are profound things to think about. I honestly believe that even in things that are considered light entertainment, something as light as Xanadu, I think it does touch on some themes that I think are worth thinking about. It's not that we're going to turn Xanadu into some big heavy drama. No, we're out to have a heck of a lot of fun with this show, But I think the whole aspect of dreams and the force that they carry in our lives, and the way that they play out, and the consequences of dreams that occur in our lives and dreams that don't occur in our lives, I think is something significant for us to think about. So, I think that, the show Xanadu can kind of act as a reminder to us of how important that part of us that feeds on inspiration and desires to be creative in whatever way that takes form, is something that needs to be fed. It's something that we can't neglect. We have to pay attention to it. We have to make sure that, just part of being a well-balanced individual is, as an adult, you realize you've got some responsibilities that you are obligated to address. You've got some things that, it can't just be fun and playtime all the time. That's part of being an adult. But it can't all just be about being an adult, too. You have to, again, here I come back to, you have to give yourself permission to pursue the things in your life that are meaningful to you and that bring something to your existence and make it meaningful. You have to make room for these things in your life because it's important. And I think that maybe there's an element of the storyline of Xanadu that can just remind us of the people that we wanted to be, that we wanted to allow ourselves to be, or that we wanted to grow into, simply by valuing the dreams that we had and prioritizing the dreams that we had. And through a lot of hope and a lot of effort and a lot of hard work, we were going to try to make those things come true. So why Xanadu? In this chapter, because dreams are important. They're important to us when we're young. They are complicated as we get older. And we find ourselves exchanging some dreams for other dreams, and that's fine. But I think that we need to never let go of how important it is for us to always have that next dream and to achieve goals and be working to achieve goals in our lives. And, some of them are, they can be family goals, they can be career goals, all of those things are important, but then there's some goals that are just yours. There are some parts of you that are just for you. And you need to make that time for yourself. You need to give yourself permission to pursue those goals. It's not a selfish thing to do the things that bring you joy and to do the things that bring you personal satisfaction. As long as you're able to do it in a way that doesn't cost anyone else anything, no one else suffers and you're not neglecting anything. There's still a way to strike that balance in your life and make those dreams happen. So Xanadu is a fantasy, it is a musical, it is a place where dreams come true. But it's important for us to acknowledge that we have dreams and acknowledge that it's important for us to give ourselves permission to pursue them. Until next time, peace and love.